Alright, we are back with another video. This one's going to be about drawing the head / the face. I'm going to try to cover as much as I can. I've already kind of gone over some points and tips during class, but this video I'm going to go over the Loomis method. Loomis is what I've been using for a lot of examples in these past videos. This is the book, I think I've already said, Figure Drawing for All It's Worth by Andrew Loomis. So let's jump right into it. Of course, the main structure of the head is this sphere shape here. Okay, that's kind of our cranium. It's what holds our brain, things like that. From there, you want to add in a vertical line for the face. Help keep everything centered. That way you don't draw anything lopsided. The Loomis method actually has you draw in another circle. Like, you cut the sphere a little bit, creating a flat plane for the side of the head, and then having the line go halfway in the sphere. But that line represents the top of the brow. So your eyes are still halfway in the head overall. The nose is going to be halfway between the brow and the chin, and then your mouth or lips more or less halfway between the nose and the chin, depending on the person, of course. So we're going to kind of free draw and see what that's like. Not really using too much reference here. Maybe I'll do a pose that's one looking straight on, and then another that's kind of a 3/4 view type of deal. So, actually, I'm going to cut off that sphere there, kind of see how that treats me. So this is going to be my brow right here, which means my eyes are going to be a little bit down here-ish. You know, always eyeballing things. Add in cheekbones. At least that's what I've been doing in a lot of my demonstrations, is adding in the cheekbones. Especially, this is where they would kind of be on the skull. And then adding in the jawline for this person. Might bring the chin up a little bit. You do want to work from reference, especially if you don't have too much experience in drawing the face. So halfway between the brow ridge and the chin, I'm going to have my nose. Then I think I might bring that a little bit lower. I'm going to bring the brows a little bit lower. And then halfway between that, we're going to have the lips. The way that I've been doing it is adding in eye sockets, because for me, having the eye sockets there actually helps with adding in different features of the face. Now I'm going to add in my eyeballs. Notice that I'm drawing very, very lightly, so that because these aren't my final details yet. Alright, so I kind of have the structure of the face going on. When it comes to eyes, maybe I'll make a separate video for eyes. This is just going to be placement of the features on the head, and I'll make separate videos for I'm having a brain fart. Make separate videos for the facial features. I'm going to do this real quickly. One, two, three, two. Alright, it's coming along here. For the nose, 3-ball method, you know, one big circle for the nose tip, 2 little circles for the nostrils, but then adding in hard lines after that and drawing the nostrils there. Alright, so we kind of got our nose shape here. I'm gonna solidify a couple of these lines a little bit more. And last but not least, lips. I'm going to actually bring them up a little bit. Ooh, that's very uneven. It's okay. That's fulcrum there. These are the general proportions that you kind of want to have with your face. For the eyebrows, I like to put them right on top of the eye socket that we've drawn there. For the eyelids, they're wrapping around the eyeball spheres that we've made as well. Ooh, he's looking a little angry. It's okay. Eyebrows are brothers. They're not twins. They're going to look a little different, and that's okay. The ears is the length of the eye to the nose. I put mine a little bit higher, depending on how they're looking at you. You don't have to be 100% exact. And if I haven't said this already, these proportions are going to be very different for the different people that you draw. All right? So he's looking pretty bald. We need to give him some hair. His hairline is going to cut below the top of the head, and then on top of that, his hair is going to sit on his head like that, above our sketch lines, because hair sits on top of your head. Now, for males, the neck tends to be a little bit thicker. All right, I like to keep it relatively thick there. Give him that little Adam's apple. Of course, we're going to add in those neck muscles that we've been working on in figure drawing. Okay. And here we have the portrait of some Joe Schmo. No one really super important, just random portrait. Upper lips always are darker than the lower lips. Why? I'm not entirely sure. Now, if you notice, I don't really connect my lower lip when drawing the portrait. I just kind of leave a line there, and if I feel like it, I'll add a little bit of shading to imply that there's connection. But I like to kind of keep it with using as less lines as possible. The more lines you use, the less realistic it starts to look, the more cartoony it starts to look. So you kind of want to stick to using value in terms of showing what's happening with the face. And I think I'm going to make another video on value in the face, like where certain planes are. I'm definitely going to make a video on that. Let's go over some certain things. The nose tends to dip into the eye, so they'll go a little bit past the tear ducts. Lips will always, not always, usually be wider than the nose itself, and you can usually fit another eyeball in between your two eyes. And those are important facts to kind of think about when drawing the face. When you're drawing your eyeballs, never draw the iris entirely in the eyeball. You want to draw partial irises there. Don't forget to add in the little temples. It's useful to know what the skull looks like, because that's what I'm kind of thinking about when I'm drawing the face as well. That's what helps me know where to shade here and there. And yeah, that's our face. How much time we got? What are we sitting at? Sitting at 9 minutes. Alright, real quick, I'm going to go over doing a 3/4 view. So someone who's kind of looking off to the side. We're going to do the same thing. I'm not going to go super in depth in the details this time, but we're going to cut this circle, okay, by having this oval here. All right. Now, I'm going to mark the center of my head, going like that, okay. So now I need to also mark where my eyes are, my eye line. Now, if you look, it's a little bit slanted. When you're drawing the head, okay, think of it as a box, kind of, okay? At least from this view, that's what's going on. So your features on this side are going to be at this type of angle, while features on this side are going to be at this angle, okay? So my eyes, my nose, my mouth are all going to be angled the same way to keep consistency going, okay? So I have my brow ridge here, and I'm going to kind of mark where the chin is, all right? Now, if I were to mark the halfway point in this circle here for the side of the head, I can connect the jawline into that right there, and that's going to connect right down like that. Here we have basic shape of the head so far. I think that's a pretty nice shape. Of course, you can always adjust where certain lines are, things like that. Of course, need to mark off halfway for the nose, and then halfway for the lips-ish. You can always adjust, okay? Now, at this angle, the circle here is going to look bigger here. Things that are further away tend to be smaller. Now, here's a mistake that I made already, is that my lines are too heavy. And now that I made my lines too heavy, it's really distracting when drawing the rest of the face. Because I'm running out of time here. But I also like making mistakes on video, so you guys can also see, it's like, hey, don't do what I'm doing, which means making dark construction lines. To add in the cheekbones. All right, now that I kind of have my construction going on, I can start to add in more details for the face, but these are things that I'm going to go over a little bit later. Places here. All right, so here we have a 3/4 view of the face. It's not perfect. It's actually very, very far from perfect, but quick constructions, getting the basic idea across. I might go a little bit more in depth. Of course, comment if there's something specific that you want me to go over. That helps me figure out what I need to focus on for the next video. I'm going to try to upload maybe 1 or 2.